Hello, and welcome to the fifth episode of the Coaster Content Podcast. Today we have a lot of more news for you relating to Dorney Park's ride. We have some more information on that. We have information on Thorpe Park's Darren Brown's Ghost Train. It's actually changing, and other things along those lines. As always, let's get started. To start off, yesterday Thorpe Park released a cryptic teaser relating to Darren Brown's Ghost Train, which is like a VR ghost train. It's inside a building. They've had some problems and stuff with it, but it's been pretty good. I've heard it's a good ride. But actually, Darren Brown's Ghost Train is. We got more information today, and it's opening spring this year, and it's going to be totally different. The attraction had actors and stuff like that. So it's still going to have the actors and all of this, but they used to have a VR system on it, which means that Thorpe Park will no longer have this VR system, and it will not be called Darren Brown's Mine Train, or Darren Brown's Ghost Train, sorry. It'll be called just Ghost Train, which is really cool. So it's really interesting to see whenever they update attractions like this. Hopefully it'll be a lot smoother. So it's kind of awesome to see that they updated things about this. They released a little trailer for it. It looks absolutely amazing. I'm super excited to see more about this, but wonder how they're going to incorporate a lot of the VR experience, but not have VR shuttles or VR goggles. So that's the first bit of news today. And like I said, I'll get to Dorney Park later. But the next bit of news is Butlin Skegness, which is a theme park. They're adding 4 new Zamperla rides. It doesn't look like any of them are big rides. They're all like family rides. But it's really interesting to see. This park is a park that is... I'm guessing it's a pretty small park. It is a park located in the UK, and it is pretty much... It has a lot of small things, but they're getting 4 new Zamperla rides, and Zamperla does a lot of good small flat rides and stuff like that. So I'm just... there's one called Happy Swing, Rocket Tug, other rides like that. But they just, like, one of them is like a small swing ride back and forth, another's tugboat, just going back and forth. So a lot of small back and forth, like kids-esque rides. So yeah, we have those. And that's the news at this park in the UK. Next, we're going to go to Disneyland, California, which is replacing the People Mover track. They're actually not replacing, they're repainting the track. It's going to be blue and slightly off-white instead of the, like, it's just the same colors as the old one, but just slightly different paint scheme on it. I remember I went to Disneyland, California recently, and it was a fun ride, but it's kind of fun just kind of going over everything, seeing all of that. So getting it repainted, that'll look really cool. I always liked that because you can see a lot of different rides, back scenes kind of behind the rides, stuff like that. It also leads, if I'm thinking of the right thing, it leads to like the food area, which is really cool. So I'm excited to see this. Yeah, repainting, I saw a photo of it. It looks really, like the repainting looks really sleek, looks really nice. The Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk has bought in the company Bainham Solutions. They're repainting Giant Dipper, which is a wooden roller coaster. Its 100th anniversary is in 2024, so seeing that Giant Dipper is getting repainted is really cool. Giant Dipper is kind of a wooden roller coaster. It looks really cool. Santa Cruz is in California, so getting this like really nice beach-wide roller coaster is awesome, and they've already had it, but they're kind of repainting it. It is a red and white roller coaster, so getting it repainted, it's going to look a lot nicer for the 100th anniversary, things like that. So yeah, that's Santa Cruz, California, and their Beach Boardwalk Park, and Bainham Solutions. So, Parc Michael, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's a park in France, and they are teasing new attractions for 2023. They're both looking like kids' rides or like small rides. It's a pretty big theme park in France, but it's really exciting to see. I always like seeing new rides, especially. I hope they're getting big rides, which is really cool. But all of these parks are really nice. These getting new small rides at parks is always good. My home park of Worlds of Fun has had a history of getting a lot of small rides. Until this year, we're getting Zambezi Zinger. But they got a lot of small rides throughout that. It's like we got an octopus ride, and we had our scrambler moved, a lot of things like that. So it's always sad whenever these parks aren't getting huge new rides, but getting small new kids rides. It's always interesting to see small new kids rides eventually might lead to something else. So keep an eye on this park. These 2 new rides, I'm not totally sure what the second one is, but the first one looks kind of like a little rotating kids ride. So yeah, that's the first one. And now back to the United States for Six Flags Fiesta Texas. They're overhauling some of their kids' rides areas. They're kind of renaming, like they're renaming their kid coaster and other things like that. Just I don't think they're doing too much theming or changes on any of that, but it looks like some of the ride vehicles may change colors, slight shape, things like that. So it's really interesting to see how the kids' rides are getting rethemed. If you like Fiesta Texas, I might go to this kids area in the future. Come look at these rides. You might notice some differences. Fiesta Texas is a really pretty park, Six Flags Fiesta Texas. And I've always liked the ride selection they have there, just like the pretty much all the rides and everything. I really like the quarry wall, how that kind of interferes with the rest of it. But yep, that's the news for Fiesta Texas. And now we're going to get to Dorney Park, which is what I've been talking about for a while. Dorney Park has shown off something really cool. Their 2024 project, which I mentioned yesterday. So now it is confirmed that it looks like it will be a roller coaster, which is absolutely amazing. And according to Ant on Discord, it looks like it's going to be a launch coaster. It looks kind of like a launch coaster. It looks really cool. I'm looking at a kind of image of it now. Dorney Park is in real need of another roller coaster, so getting this ride is going to be absolutely amazing, and I'm really excited for it. And Dorney Park deserves this new ride. If you've looked at their Twitter recently, they've been bantering with the Worlds of Fun Twitter page about Worlds of Fun getting the new Zambezi Zingo roller coaster. So it's kind of funny to see that now that they're getting a new roller coaster, and they're getting a launched roller coaster, which is absolutely insane. Worlds of Fun is in big need of a launched roller coaster, as we don't have one, so it's kind of ironic that that happened. But it's kind of funny. I'm really happy for Dorney Park. Their new coaster is going to be really fun. I'm pretty sure it'll be a launched coaster. But yeah, that is totally cool that Dorney Park is getting a new coaster. I'll keep you updated with more information as we see it. But it looks really cool. I'm happy for Dorney Park. Next, we're going to talk about Pleasure Beach Blackpool is bringing back their fan club from the 1990s is when they last had it. It's exclusive behind-the-scenes tours, info, stuff for locals, pretty much. It's free to join. You don't have to be a pass holder. And pretty much with this fan club, it kind of just unlocks like fun things and things like that, behind the scenes stuff. Members only events, pretty much guided tours, exclusive content. You get a newsletter, and then there's retail merchandise that you get from it. So if you're interested in Pleasure Beach Blackpool, their rides, behind the scenes stuff, any of that, I definitely joined this fan club or this. Yeah, just it's awesome. So it's fun seeing parks do things like this. I wish Worlds of Fun would do something like this because I'd love to see behind the scenes stuff there. But yeah, it's really good. Pleasure Beach Blackpool is awesome. And now we're going to talk about Bayern Park has a Gerstlauer family shuttle coaster that they had announced recently, and now it's going vertical. They've built track. It's a launched coaster. It looks like a really nice one. They're building track, ton of stuff. It's really interesting to see them start doing it. It has like a purple track scheme, all of that. Purple track scheme. Looks like there's some curves. It's a family shuttle, so it won't be that big. But still, it looks like it'll be a pretty small layout, but it's still a family shuttle coaster. It's not really launched, but it looks fun. Voltron coaster at Europa Park, which is a Big Dipper. It's a modified Big Dipper coaster. Has their first track piece placed, which it's going to be on brown supports. It's a gray track. It looks really nice, and it's made by Mock Rides, and they're calling it their first ever striker coaster. Not totally sure what that means, but it looks like a really good one. Europa Park is an amazing theme park. I've heard a lot of good things about it. So if you're near Europa Park, you might want to check on this progress. It looks pretty cool. And now we're going to talk about a final few bits of news. First one, and these next two are in China. The Happy Time theme park, which is opening a Phase 2 expansion in 2026. They're going to have a sizable dueling coaster, and it's going to be called the Sile Jungle Area, which looks cool. But pretty much this theme park looks awesome. It's along a little lake, and it looks like a really nice one. So it's awesome to see this. Dueling coasters are really fun. Hopefully they keep it dueling, and they actually have the trains duel, stuff like that. And now we're going to talk about the Card Happy World in China. Is another bit of sad news. Is knocking the Heibi Zong. Zhangye. I'm not totally sure I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's a 4-ring roller coaster. It looked like a pretty tall one. And it's because they're revamping the park. It's been going on for 10 years, and I think this might be the last year of it. But it's really sad seeing roller coasters get torn down. I'm excited to see what's being replaced, what's replacing it. But another sad bit of news that roller coaster is getting torn down. But a positive bit of news is Wallaby Holland is adding a Zamperla Junior coaster in 2023. It looks like a pretty small one, just like some two loops, a small helix, stuff like that. But yeah, the final bit of news, just a small family coaster at Wallaby Holland. It looks like I like Wallaby Holland. It's a good little quaint park, and getting a new Zamperla Junior coaster, that's pretty cool. Excited to see how smooth it is, and as always, Zamperla does a good job with those. But that pretty much ends up the video. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, as it really does help out the channel. And as always, have a great day and ride safely.